Hey guys, just a reminder, if you want to hear all of these wonderful B Plus podcast episodes completely ad-free, make sure you head over to Patreon or Podbean, where we are the featured podcast this week. You can subscribe for as little as $1 a month up to $10 a month, where anything you want to help us with, it really helps out. It's going to help us grow the site. It's going to help us redesign some things, and everything that we get through this and through the advertising as well is all going straight back into the podcast so that we can get Aussie Graps out there for the rest of the world to hear about, for the rest of the world to see, so we can grow this mission of watch global, support local, and build indie wrestling. So if you want to be a part of that and get some really cool rewards like call-in shows, bonus episodes, ad-free like I mentioned, then head over to patreon.com/theb+ and subscribe today.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the main event of the evening.
Hold one. Andre.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Oh my God.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two. On bar.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy. Yeah.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
Hold three. The moss covered. Three-handle family Gradunzo.
Mamma mia.
And now,
Unchained.media presents the B Plus Podcast with your host, Greg Unchained.
It's me, Austin. It was me all along, Austin.
number 4, armbar.
I will never retire.
We still got 200 more. I got 200 more holes to list.
All right, fellow B Plus players, welcome to the B Plus Podcast. I'm your host, Greg Unchained. Today is Monday. You know what that means. It's time once again for us to step back into the impact zone, as you know, all of our regularly scheduled programming is returning for 2019. It's time to talk Impact. So joining me to talk Impact, the regular Jay. How are you, Jay?
Good, Greg. How are you?
Not as good as you. I've had a part of my tooth fall out. So I'm going to go see a dentist tomorrow, but for now I'm just on a bunch of painkillers and just sort of chilling.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah. Good times. And my mouth feels weird. Have you ever had like tooth problems and then you're just like, oh, I can't like keep my tongue away from it?
Yeah, all the time. I'm one of those people.
I have zero self-control. It's like I was talking to Shazza McKenzie on the Aussie Graps cast. If the food is there, I will eat it, which is why my tooth has fallen out. And so, yeah, I have no self-control, and I'm sitting here licking it, and now my tongue's all tore to shreds. But that's me. That's me in a nutshell today. I've been sleeping and licking my teeth.
Easy way to put it. What a day.
Yeah, it's a good day. I interrupted you doing some gardening, so, you know, we're both productive in our own ways.
Yeah, some casual gardening on a Sunday.
Yeah, it's too fucking hot, man. I don't know what it's like up there, but it is so hot here.
Oh, it's just like muggy. It has been
Yeah.
for the last 6 weeks.
Why are you not at PWA, Diego's last show right now?
Oh, I couldn't find anyone. Oh, well, not really that I couldn't find anyone to go with. It's just
Yeah, Mikey and that are going, man. You
Yeah.
could have gone
sort
with
of
the boys.
sort of on a Sunday, so it makes it hard for me.
Right, because work and stuff.
Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't know, I'm drunk and not showing up for work on the Monday, so I decided to have some self-control and I'll go to the next PWA show. It's on a Friday or a Saturday.
You may miss One Direction winning the titles, though.
I'm sure Mikey will fill me in with some videos.
Yeah.
I hope so.
He will. Yeah. We'll keep, and people can of course stay tuned to the B Plus. The B Plus will fill you in. We'll fill you in no matter what happens. So
Exactly right. I'll just listen to the podcast.
exactly. There you go. That's what we're here for. But we also encourage people to get out and actually support the shows. Watch global, support local. So let's do some global watching. Impact kicked off 2019 with Homecoming, which was interesting. There wasn't a lot of buzz about Homecoming. There wasn't a lot of excitement going in, for me at least, because they had 2 weeks off over Christmas where they just played like clip shows.
Yeah, I didn't even watch any of that.
No, I loaded it up to see, and then I was like, oh, it's a clip show. I don't need to see this.
Yeah, it was just like best matches of 2019, and I was sort of like, meh. I've already seen most of these matches.
Best matches of 2019. How have you seen those?
Oh, 2018, sorry.
You're already... See, I'm the opposite. I will call this year 2018 for the next 3 months, but you're already in the... It's 2019, I have to say 2019 all the time mode. I wish I could get there. It's really confusing for me. But Homecoming itself was having a bit... At the time, I said it was crap. It was a piece of crap, not worth watching. But having a bit of time, having a bit of removal from it... I mean, it came the same weekend as Wrestle Kingdom, which I think...
Yeah, so...
I think that hurt it.
Yeah. But, see, I loved it.
Okay.
I don't know why. I just loved it.
Yeah,
It was good. There was a couple of matches where I was like, meh. But overall, I liked it.
Yeah, having a bit of time removed from it and looking back through my notes and stuff, I maybe I was being a bit mean to it, and I'm going to be a little bit more charitable now. But overall, I definitely think Impact have some work to do in 2019. I don't think they're in the healthiest place at the moment, but we'll get to that. So the show, the Homecoming show felt weird. It looked like they were running through... It may have just been my feed that I was watching on, because full disclosure, I did not pay for this show because I wasn't excited about it. So I found a stream. It happens. It's one of those things, I spend all my money on wrestling as it is anyway, so, sue me. But Impact Homecoming looked weird. Did it look grainy to you, like they were using old cameras to try to capture a nostalgia feel?
Yes, well, that was the whole point of it. Because it was sort of like a return to the old arena.
Yeah, but don't use the old cameras. It's not 2002 anymore.
I know, but yeah, some decisions by Impact startle me.
Yeah.
They bother me still.
That's one of them. That's one of them. It bothered me. I was like, this looks old. No one wants to... I struggle going back to watch old shows on the network. Like, if you go watch something from the Attitude Era, right, it looks bad.
Yeah.
It's a square. First off, it's a square, which frustrates me to no end. Yeah, it just looks bad, and this looked bad. It looked grainy. It did not look like it definitely wasn't high def. If I paid to get this on pay-per-view in high definition, I would be so pissed off.
Oh, you'd be devastated. But I mean, I think that was sort of their plan, because it was a Homecoming. Yeah, I don't understand it, but...
Yeah, well, the one of the choices that I did approve of was putting the Ultimate X match on first for nostalgia's sake. That's a nostalgia thing I can get behind, right? Ultimate X matches, they go first.
How did you feel about Rich Swann winning?
It wasn't my pick, but he's as good a person as anybody to put the X title on, which probably isn't what you want to be saying. Oh, as good a person as anybody. But I would have gone with someone a bit more future. I would have gone Ethan Page.
Yeah,
or Trey Miguel.
I thought they would have went with like someone with an Impact direction, if you know what I mean. Not like, oh yeah, we've got an ex-WWE star. He's going to have the belt pretty much 3 months after working for the company.
Yeah, the more ex-WWE guys that have it is, and then on Impact itself, he came out and did a whole thing with, running down the lineage where he's mentioning all these people that are now in WWE and being like, and they built, and he was right. I liked that promo that they did build this thing and, created this division and revolutionized wrestling. I agree with that. Absolutely. But you want to look forward, which I think is going to be a big problem for Impact in 2019.
Well, now that they've got future companies to compete with again as well. So it's going to make it difficult.
Yeah. We also, we didn't return to the Underworld, but we may as well have. The Underworld came to us after the Su Young Ali, Jordan, Kira Hogan match. Now, Jordan Grace has lost already in Impact. What the hell? How you're building a monster and then have her on the losing team? She didn't take the pin, obviously. Kira Hogan's the pin eater here. But, come on. She has an L on she's in the L column, and that's not cool.
Yeah, and it was all just to build Rosemary returning, pretty much.
Right. And Rosemary looked like she could barely move.
Yeah.
How bad was that hand thing though? Like, so Rosemary, like, she comes out of the coffin, which I want to touch on this in a second, but she goes to Ali and tries to like put her hand on Ali. Like, I don't know, is she trying to suck the demon out with her powers or something like that's possessing Ali that makes her Dark Ali? She did something and it just looked really stupid, and Ali didn't sell it very well.
Yeah, Ali's doesn't look too great. I don't know how long they're going to keep it on this Dark Ali character.
Okay, so we've talked about it before. Dark Ali sounds stupid.
Yeah, it does.
It should be Ali Dark,
Ali
right?
Dark, yes.
Ali Dark sounds way better. That said, I have been a champion of this storyline for the most part, but now if you're gonna do storylines like this is stuff that appeals to nerds, right? You could end up on the Sci-Fi Channel if you do this stuff right. You could get a really loyal following if you do this stuff right. But you have stopped doing it right. This was bad. Rosemary shows up in the casket, and it was a different casket. It wasn't the same casket that they used as a gateway to the underworld before. So now we're to believe that all caskets are gateways to the underworld, not just this magical, mythical one that was held by James Mitchell. So just some random casket, completely different casket. And Rosemary pops out of that, which Rosemary was trapped in the underworld. She had to trap herself there to allow Ali to escape. And then we get nothing. No story whatsoever about how she manages to overcome and get out of there when she was trapped to begin with. Did she have to go on some kind of magical quest to find a crystal that would open a door? I don't know, and it's killing me.
Yeah, like, are they gonna say anything about it at all? Or...
You need some fucking continuity here. If she was trapped in the underworld, but then all of a sudden, just this random different coffin that's not the gateway to the underworld is used to bring her back. What's that coffin's backstory? How did she get to that coffin? I need to know this stuff, or else it makes zero sense. And it's just like, oh, I know we said she was trapped, but she's healed up now, so we want to bring her back. And it looks stupid. And when you're doing these crazy high fantasy stories, they still have to have an internal logic. Like, yeah, okay, we get it. You can shoot sparks out of your hands, so this isn't real. We know this, but there still needs to be an internal consistency.
I'll give it a couple of weeks to see if they've got a story about it, and if not, I'm done.
Well, it doesn't look like it, because on Impact this week, they just had her write something on a coffin that Ali and Su Yung were near, and I couldn't even see what it was because I was watching on Twitch and the subscriber thing popped up.
Yeah.
And so I couldn't see what was written there. Did you see what was written?
No, I think it might be in my notes somewhere. So we'll discuss it when we get to it.
Yeah. So then we move on. So back to the homecoming show, I guess. We move on. Moose and Eddie, they had a good match. This was, the Ultimate X match was good, but this was the first match that I found that I was sort of getting sucked into a little bit, just with the story they were telling. And that barricade spot looked really painful.
Yeah. Yeah, and the kendo sticks at the end of the match too.
Yeah. How many headshots did Moose take though? Right, he took an unprotected chair shot to the head.
Yeah, well, that's why it's different to WWE. You will never see that in the WWE.
Yeah, and it definitely added to the match. But
it's
as a performer,
when wrestlers take chair shots to the head.
Yeah, because we don't see it anymore. It used to be nothing, right? Like watching The Rock take 20 or 30 chair shots to the head, which I think they tried to do a callback to later. Anyway, watching The Rock take those chair shots to the head in that match with Mankind, I wasn't as uncomfortable then as I was watching Moose take 2.
Yeah.
Because now we know what it can do.
Yeah. That scares me too. It's sort of like, whoa.
And Moose is already at elevated risk for later in life problems because he played football. Yeah. Right? And we know the associations with football and the concussions with the helmet. Like, arguably, it's better for them to not wear the helmet and pads.
The last injury he received was a concussion, wasn't it? That wasn't kayfabe.
No, that was for real after the Austin Aries match.
Yeah.
So to then take unprotected chair shots, I was very uncomfortable. The kendo stick shot to the head, that doesn't bother me. Kendo sticks, like, it's not like a chair shot is a concussive force because it's sort of the surface area is larger than the head and it's coming down, whereas the kendo stick, it disperses and breaks, and so it's not as concussive. but it is like it would have stung his forehead, right? Like he'd have a mark from it and he'd be like, ow, that hurts to touch or whatever, but it can break the skin and stuff, but it's not going to give you a concussion. Breaking a kendo stick over your head, not going to give you a concussion. Chair, though, very scary.
Yeah. That's exactly right.
I like that the kendo stick is called Kenny, and that Don Callis called it the most dangerous Kenny in wrestling.
God.
Shots fired.
Yeah.
Someone's salty that Omega's not signing with them.
Yet?
Yet, you actually think Kenny Omega's going to show up in Impact?
No. No chance.
I mean, look, it'd shock the world, but yeah, what have Impact got for him? I mean, he could work Pentagon, I suppose, and then what?
Yeah, but he can do that anyway, so...
Eli Drake? I mean...
Drake.
Yeah. Moving on, Sami Callihan. Oh, the other thing about Homecoming, too, was the promo before every match. That bummed me out.
Yeah, they weren't as good as they have been.
Well, just, I mean, as well, like, have a Sami Callihan promo earlier in the show and then have the Sami Callihan match. Like, weave them in and out. Don't put it like, okay, now we're getting the Sami Callihan promo and then he's going to come to the ring for his match. Then we're going to get an Eli Drake promo, then he's going to come to the ring for his match. It started to feel really formulaic.
It's probably, yeah, maybe that's the direction they want to head in. Sort of more movie-like, maybe.
It's, yeah, I don't know. So, Willie Mack and Sami Callihan, the match that had no reason for being at all, but was probably the best match on the show.
Yeah,
I love Willie Mack.
Yeah, he's great. He's great. And it's good because I've watched him on Lucha. So,
yeah.
I sort of knew what I was expecting when he turned up at Impact.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure you've said yourself, right? Like, he's one of the most underrated guys.
Oh, yeah. He's so underrated. And he doesn't wrestle that much anywhere else.
He's not in a lot of places, no. He sort of does a few smaller indies and stuff, and it's really surprising, and I don't know why. I think I speculated before, like, whether it's, you know, a choice of his. Maybe he has a really good... I mean, Brody King, I know Brody King has a really good job that he enjoys doing, and so he's like, you know, I don't necessarily want to go to WWE or anything because they want you full-time, and I like my job, and I can make a lot of money there, and I don't want to give up that lifestyle. So, you know, maybe Willie Mack's the same. Maybe he's like a day trader, and he's like super loaded, and he just wrestles, you know, when he feels like it, when the story's right or whatever. But this does not feel like someone who's doing that, because he's just here for, like, what was the reason for this match? There was zero reason.
Yeah, no reason. Just Willie Mack versus Sami Callihan.
Yeah, also but it was a good match because they're both really good workers, and I want more for both of these guys. Like, we've talked about, Sami should be in the world title scene. We've talked about that.
Yeah, which he should be.
And Willie Mack, honestly, Willie Mack could be in the world title scene.
Yeah.
Willie Mack could be the biggest star they have.
With the proper building, he can turn into a world champ for them.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, here's the thing with Willie Mack, right? If you want to be an alternative, Impact, if you want to be an alternative, run with Willie Mack. Because you know what there aren't enough of in pro wrestling? There's plenty of talented African-American wrestlers, don't get me wrong, but there are not a lot of strongly booked, well-respected people of color.
Yeah, well, that's exactly right.
I mean, who else can you think of? Bobby Lashley gets a push every now and then.
But he doesn't come across as being a world heavyweight champion.
No.
They don't think him strong enough.
Yeah, and the NWA are booking Willie Mack better than Impact at the moment. He's their North American champion, and he's sort of traveling around the independents defending that title. And, you know, they're talking about giving him a show on YouTube, which would be great. I really hope that happens because, yeah, if you want to be a strong alternative, give us a strong, give us more, not just one, but give us strong stories for people of color. And Willie Mack is one of the most talented dudes in the world when it comes to stepping between those four ropes.
Yeah.
3 ropes.
100% agree. The 4 ropes.
Yeah. It's 4 sides. You know what I'm talking about. In that square that is a circle of the ring. Anyway, Sami Callihan got announced as #the draw. Come on, you don't say the hashtag. He's just the draw.
Yeah.
That was really bad.
#the draw.
It bummed me out. And ultimately he won which, I mean, look, in this match,
I was
obviously
shocked
they're
as well, to be honest.
yeah, because Willie Mack is Willie Mack. He feels special in Impact even. Like, he just has an aura, and I want him to do so well. And Sami Callihan, obviously they're high on Sami Callihan. Sami Callihan's working less places. He's working Impact more. He got Wrestler of the Year for 2018. So they're very big on Sami Callihan. So I understand why they gave him the win, but really this match didn't have to happen at all.
Yeah, I agree. But
Yeah.
oh well, got a good match out of it, so.
Yeah, what we didn't get a good match out of was Monsters Ball.
Yeah, we'll just skip that one. Eli Drake won.
Eli Drake wins. He won by breaking a paddle over the head, which, I mean, look, you had the kendo stick break over the head too, and I don't know, there were a lot of spots of this. They tried to do a callback to the Rock thing, like they tried to cuff Abyss with the cable ties, but he couldn't get it on, and he eventually just gave up and just laid into him with the chair anyway. It was bad.
Yeah.
I'm going to get heat for saying this, but if you've seen one Monsters Ball match, you've seen them all.
Yeah, Monster Ball. Yeah.
I was like, okay, here comes Janice, here comes the tax. I knew everything that was going to happen before it happened.
Yep. It's always the same.
Yeah, which is not what you want. So Eli Drake wins. Moving on, the best match of the show. The Willie Mack and Sami Callihan's up there, but this one was obviously, we knew going in this would be far and away the best match. LAX, Lucha Brothers, great match, very exciting match, but made zero sense given the story that they were supposedly telling.
Yeah, and I was also shocked that LAX retained as well.
I wasn't, because I feel like Lucha Brothers are losing everywhere because they're probably going to All Elite Wrestling.
Okay.
And that's what you do on your way out. You put over the other guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, see, that could make sense, but we'll get to Impact and then it won't make sense.
Yeah, well, but no, so LAX win, but my issue with this match was, as great as the match was, at the end they just have a really good wrestling match and then they respect each other and they're all fine, which is weird because they were telling this story where LAX was saying, no, we can do this, we can just have a match and not have it become this heated thing, but then out of nowhere on the last Impact, it was heated all of a sudden.
Yeah,
and
the
Lucha Brothers,
each other.
Yeah, and the Lucha Brothers cut that promo, right, where they're like, we're not going to hold back, we're going to bring everything, we're going to, take you down and take those titles. And then they just had a respectful match and shook hands at the end. And I'm like, what happened to this blood feud you were going to kick off?
Yeah. Does make sense. Like a lot of things in Impact now.
Yeah, there's no continuity.
Yeah.
There's no continuity. And it's something that leading into Slammiversary, we were raving about how good their storytelling was, right?
Yeah.
Everything was making sense week to week to week. The stories were solid. Slammiversary was super exciting. It started to get a little more shaky going into Bound for Glory, but it was still fairly solid. And coming out of Bound for Glory, I feel like the shit has hit the fan. And it could be that, backstage everyone knows this All Elite Wrestling thing is coming. The boys are all talking. They're all friends. They all talk to each other in the locker rooms and what have you. And the guys in the office are like, look, we don't know what's happening with all these people's contracts. People are saying they're not going to renew, right? Like you have Trevor Lee leaving, you have, DJ Z, Andrew Everett, all these people just letting their contracts expire and being like, we're going to go work other places. We'll keep you in our Rolodex. But so it could be that, like, and maybe once all the contract situations sort of shake out a little, we'll start to get that consistent storytelling again. But they've been all over the place lately.
Yeah. It's like one storyline starts and then that one finishes and it doesn't finish and it starts a new one. Yeah.
Yeah, well, I have in my notes here, halfway through Impact, one of the notes I wrote was, what happened to the Moose and Killer Cross connection? But they ended up bringing it back. So I guess they're not completely forgetting everything.
But it's like, where's Grado gone? Where's Joe Hendry? Where are they?
Yeah. Again, well, this is contract stuff. Like, I mean, I haven't even seen Grado doing anything over in the UK. Like World of Sport aren't taping at the moment. So I don't know. Maybe they are doing a World of Sport tour and I've just missed it. Because Grado and Joe Hendry are both big guys for World of Sport.
Yeah.
Over in the UK. So there could be something going on there. But I have no idea. And, they're not addressing it either on Impact. Where if you give us like a video, like a call-in promo, an interview, that kind of thing. Because the thing is as well, Impact kind of set themselves up. Remember when Brian Cage was off doing all the indie shows, and they would put like a random match of his from Australia. They would put a random match of his from Canada, from Japan, and they would talk to him via satellite. Yep. Why can't you do that stuff while other guys are off on the road?
It's Brian Cage.
Yeah. But if you want to be that, we're the super independent, our guys work other shows as well, we love wrestling, this is wrestling. If you want to be that company, lean into it more and, point out, like, Joe Hendry, Jay Grado, we haven't heard from him a while, but they sent in this message and a shot of them in the UK doing their friends stuff,
Yeah, well, that's exactly right, but I don't know. Hopefully they get better with this new TV deal that they've got, so...
Yeah, well, we'll get to that. Then we get Tessa and Taya. This match, unfortunately, for me, did not deliver.
The ending fucking sucked as well.
Yeah, well, the ending on both of these matches, these main events, was... Yeah, so Gail Kim, who promised to call it down the line, and then on Impact said, I called it down the line. No, you didn't!
Yeah, I'm just, I'm lost for words. Like, yeah. I've got...
There was a point in this match where Tessa bumped Gail Kim, right? Which is what led to the finish, why Gail Kim decided to hit her finisher. But so Gail Kim goes down, and then Tessa doesn't cheat. She just hits the buzzsaw DDT. She saw Gail Kim go down, and she sort of shrugged it off, like, I accidentally knocked her. Whoopsie-doo. And she turns around, she hits the buzzsaw DDT, and goes for the pin. She acknowledged that Gail Kim was down. She knew Gail Kim was down, but she didn't go get her title. She went for the pin. Then she looked and was like, oh, the ref's down. You already knew the ref was down. And then she gets up to go get her title, but by the time she's done, she and Gail fight over it. It was so bad.
Yeah, I think it was
Like, I expect this at... all due respect, I expect this at an AWF show. I don't expect this on telly.
Well, we got it.
Yeah.
And then we got Taya Valkyrie winning. Yay.
Yeah, with a roll-up. A roll-up and a fast count.
Yay.
It looks like once Taya won, I straight away was like, well, I was right. They're going for the power couple thing.
Yep.
Which means that Johnny Impact's going to win. Which means that Brian Cage cashed in option C for nothing, devalued the title for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm like, wait, maybe I'm getting ahead of myself. I wasn't.
Nope.
I wasn't getting ahead of myself.
Did you reckon the match finished in a botch?
Something was up. Yeah, they didn't acknowledge it. They did not acknowledge it at all. So I don't know if that's what I don't know if they're going for that. Like, because they didn't really acknowledge the Austin Aries thing either, did they?
No.
They just sort of no-sold it as stuff was going crazy in the ring. They're like, yeah, that's it for us here at Impact. And you're like, okay, what the fuck did I just watch?
Yeah.
You wanna help me with that, guys?
Yeah, so, I don't know.
Because I watched something.
It was weird, but...
look, the end of this match was painful for me. So can you run us down what happened? Because I'm just going to sit here and mute my microphone and shake my head.
Yeah, so pretty much Johnny Impact had his friends at ringside, which stopped Cage from getting the winning pinfall, turning obviously into an Impact win. And it was just terrible. It was terrible.
Now, again, I don't know if they're worried that Cage might be going elsewhere. But just, I mean, okay. If Johnny Impact was buddies with the starting quarterback for the Tennessee Titans, and he was the one at ringside,
yep.
Sure, do this angle. But he's buddies with some fucking losers from Survivor. As far as I know, it wasn't even the people that won. Who are you appealing to with this?
It wasn't.
Are there like... Okay, so I know the kind of people that are reality staff. Like, if you're wanting to pop a rating because you've got the guys from Survivor or the guys from Big Brother or the people who watch that, the people who watch these shows are, late 20 to mid 30 women who got married way too young and haven't had the sense to get divorced yet. Like, that's the audience for these shows, dude. And they're not the audience for wrestling. And if they even tune in, they're going to tune in just to see this spot, and then they're never coming back. And this wasn't on TV, it was on pay-per-view. They're not going to pay for it, right?
Exactly.
They'll just read about it in, you know, I don't know, where's this even going to show up? In fucking Us Weekly? I don't know. What the fuck is this? And the worst part is, to make this angle happen, and to have a Johnny Impact win. I mean, Johnny Impact's the face!
Yeah. And he's got some Survivor guy distracting Brian Cage.
And Brian Cage is also a face, and he's been built up like all heck. Like, he is unstoppable. He's the machine, and rightly so. He is a unique specimen. He is one of the greatest athletes I have ever watched perform live.
Yeah.
And he's just a specimen. Like, you don't know how he does the things he does, and how he's so fucking jacked, and the just the mental strength that he has to have to be the person he is. He's someone I respect. And they build him up, and then he cashes in the X Division title, which we talked about. I'm not a huge fan of that as an option, right? I feel like it devalues the title. But, okay, you've done that. At least have him win the fucking strap.
Exactly. Make it so it's not pointless.
All this so he can lose. And then, him losing isn't even the biggest angle, because now you've got a husband and wife holding their belts, and out comes Killer Cross to powerbomb the wife, and that's the angle. So, Cage not being good enough and needing to get better, that's not even the story you're telling here. And the crowd are booing the shit out of Johnny Impact for this finish, and so now Killer Cross comes out and attacks the wife, and everyone's like, yay!
Killer Cross is a good guy now, yay!
It was so bad. Because here's the thing. If you're going to book a badass character like Killer Cross, because Killer Cross is just a badass, right? He doesn't cheat.
Exactly, he just beats you up.
He's just a badass. I mean, he runs in packs, which is cheating. So yeah, he does cheat, I guess. But he's mostly just a badass. And if he's going to come out and do something badass, like powerbomb someone into the crowd, you know, after having that person win, everything Killer Cross says is true. This guy's not a real champion, and he's supposed to be the face, and now Killer Cross is just the badass face. Like, he's what people want Roman Reigns to.
Yeah. Exactly.
I shake my head so much at the booking of Impact right now.
We can only complain.
They were doing so well.
2019's a new start. Hopefully.
Yeah, so let's talk about 2019 for Impact. So they're no longer on Pop.
No. They've got a new Twitch
So
deal.
Impact, well, it's not Twitch, right? It's Twitch for us, but their actual TV deal is with a channel called Pursuit.
Yeah.
Right? And Pursuit is a hunting and fishing outdoorsman channel.
Perfect for Braun Strowman.
Yeah, that whole non-traversy. This just in. Big Southern lad enjoys hunting. More at 10. Anyway, yeah, it's one of those things. So Impact, TNA Impact in its heyday was on, correct me if I'm wrong, it was on Fox, right?
It used to be on Fuel TV.
Over here, it was on Fuel TV,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure in America they had a deal where it was on Fox.
Yes.
And then they had Explosion as well. And Explosion still happens, apparently. It only goes up on Global Wrestling Network. But they've had good TV deals in their day, and it's just gone down and down and down. To the point where, like, Impact on Pop is getting, like, 100,000 viewers or whatever. And so now they've moved to Impact on Pursuit, and they've cut their audience in half again. But the benefit here is it's a channel that they own. So Anthem, who own Impact, own 35% of Pursuit.
Yeah.
So whatever Pursuit is paying Impact for the TV show, 35 cents on the dollar of that is just them paying themselves.
Well, if you can do it, you can do it, I guess.
Yeah, but it's not sustainable.
No.
It's not sustainable. And the thing is, they've gone onto Twitch to make up for that. So I guess that's the benefit, is they possibly had deals from other networks, but none of them were good enough. And so they were like, look, we'll go on our own network and we'll also do this Twitch thing and hope that makes up the difference.
Yeah, I wonder how much Twitch are paying them.
Well, Twitch don't pay.
All the sponsors,
Twitch.
Sorry.
Yeah, well, you get ad money on Twitch and then you can subscribe. So when they made this weird, awkward plea for subscribers, they were like, we want to get 15,000 subscribers by March, right? And I thought they just meant people hitting that follow button on Twitch, but that's not what they mean. You can actually subscribe on Twitch, and you can pay like $5 a month or $10 a month for different levels, and you get like ad-free content. And so you can pay them directly to Impact. Yeah. Now, aren't we already doing this with Global Wrestling Network?
Yes.
Why not move to your own network? I guess they still have that whole pending lawsuit with Jeff Jarrett.
Yes.
And so they're worried that they're going to have to pull that down. But I don't want to be paying you $8 for this Global Wrestling Network, which looks like a piece of crap and doesn't work all the time, and then also pay $5 for ad-free Impact on Twitch, especially when I can just watch it with ads and it doesn't bother me.
Well, how many viewers did they have when you were watching on Twitch?
This is the real interesting thing about watching on Twitch, is I watched the viewers go up and down live as the show was happening.
And what was their
Fascinating.
peak?
Their peak was 10,182.
Ooh.
So they had 10,000 people watching. Now they want 15,000 subscribers. That means 15,000 people paying. So you want... it's not going to happen.
No chance.
It's not going to happen. Like, if you get 10,000 people watching each week, you will get maybe, like, generally speaking, with online conversions and things, it's like a 2% rate of people who will pay for content they can get for free.
Yeah. Such a fall.
Right?
Such a fall. They've had such a fall.
So if this whole another podcast I listened to on the Pro Wrestling Torch Network, they break down Impact too, and they actually looked at the numbers, which was really fascinating to me. They looked at the numbers where basically Impact on Pop, they were getting about $1 million a year. Right? Now, by moving over, if you like guess at how much they're getting from Pursuit and then factor in 15,000 subscribers at $5, that makes them up to $1 million a year for Impact again. So that's what it looks like they're doing. It's like they've taken a pay cut to go on this Anthem network, but they're hoping that the hardcore rabid fan base, because they've had a core of 100,000 people watching forever. Those 100,000 never go away. It never dips below that.
Yeah.
No matter how bad things get. So they're hoping that they can monetize 15% of their core audience,
which is
to keep them alive.
Not going to happen.
I think unless they explicitly come out and say, look, if we don't get 15,000 subscribers, we're going off the air and the show's going to end. And if you want Impact to be alive, if you want to be part of Impact, if you want to own part of this thing that we're going to do and we're going to stick it to the man, we're going to show people that we can survive, we can get through this. If you do that kind of plea, you might get a bump. But I still don't think you're going to get 15,000, unfortunately. No. In this day and age, the amount of wrestling options out there.
Yeah, there's too many companies. Someone will fill Impact slot straight away. Someone will just move in.
Yeah.
Like I said, with AEW coming in, it's just going to push Impact further back.
Promotional consideration paid for by the following.
January is here and we are fast approaching WrestleMania season. Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania are around the corner, so the time to dilly-dally is past us. If you want to experience WrestleMania live, and who doesn't, let's be honest, you deserve it. The best and really the only way to do it is with All Aussie Travelers. All Aussie Travelers are new to the wrestling travel package game, but they are veterans at travel, and they have put together a package that cannot be beaten. For less than $7,500, All Aussie Travelers are going to send you to New York, New York, with return flights, airport transfers, full accommodation, and tickets to the WWE Hall of Fame, NXT pre-show party, NXT TakeOver, WrestleMania, Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live, and more. The coolest part about these packages is that for NXT TakeOver, Raw, and SmackDown, you are going to be seated in your own private VIP suite normally not available to the public, but all Aussie Travellers have you covered, man. They got this locked down. It has its own bar, it has its own bathroom access, and all the luxuries that a VIP box comes with, not least of which, of course, an incredible view for everything happening in the ring. All of this for under $7,500. They're practically giving these packages away, man. You'd be crazy not to check it out. So head over to All Aussie Travellers on Facebook. The link is in the show notes. And tell them that the B Plus sent you. And let's go watch WrestleMania in style. Christmas has come and gone, and with it, the disappointment of those Secret Santa staples, the shave kit, the sports hygiene packs, and seasonal socks is fading. As we roll on, though, into the new year, it's time to make resolutions, so why not resolve to look better in 2019 and get yourself the gift that keeps on giving and never disappoints, Threadbox. Threadbox is a subscription clothes shopping service which for as little as $40 per month will send you a box of personally curated goodies straight to your doorstep. I get the $160 package which comes with over $200 worth of fresh goodies each month. Kept me looking fly for all my Christmas engagements this year. You get to communicate with the Threadbox stylist assigned to you by email regarding what it is you need, and they will tailor the box accordingly. And in the unlikely event that you don't like what they send you, you send it back, they will replace it with something new and make note of the things you don't like so that they can avoid that kind of thing in the future. Threadbox is a truly unbelievable service that no man should be living without, so head over to threadbox.com.au today and use our code TheB+15 when you check out to get 15% off your first box. It was interesting as well in the comments section on Twitch, just watching as the show unfolds. So it started with about 6,500 and it ended at around 8,800. But like I said, it did increase up to so the maximum I've got here is actually 11,000. So it got up to 11,000 people. That was during the Scarlet Strip show.
Of
was
course.
11,000 people. That was the peak. Yeah. But the interesting thing here was there were clearly people in the comment section. There were clearly people who were watching on Pursuit and also watching on Twitch.
Yeah.
Right? Because people were commenting and saying, oh, the ad on Pursuit, on Pursuit, they keep airing this weird ad about a lady trying to sell me a knife, and it's terrible. But in the ads, when it was airing ads on television, what it would air was you would see two ads back to back, like a YouTube ad, right?
Yep.
You would see two ads, but then you would just see GWN flashbacks. And people were like, I would much rather watch these GWN flashbacks, more wrestling, and put up with that Mazda ad that I have to see every time, as opposed to watch this stupid knife lady on this bloody hunting channel. And so their TV audience is turning off the TV to go on the computer. And they're happy to watch the ads because it's wrestling anyway. They get more wrestling.
Wow.
And yeah. Which to me, as well, because I'm watching on Twitch, they have these, but then they still manage to put in a 15-minute Global Wrestling Network flashback for the show. Like, no, just leave them to the ads now. This is the perfect use of that GWN footage.
Yeah, just play bits of it in the ad.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then just,
it's a whole thing, man. Impact are a mess. Pick one streaming service, pick one place to put your content, and put as much of it there as you can. Spreading yourself thin like this is, you may get bits and pieces from different places, but you're not going to make a solid core, I don't think.
Yeah, that's it.
It's frustrating. And 2019 sees, I mean, if All Elite Wrestling are coming in and they're bringing big money in and they're pushing everyone's price up. And then down that one level below, you've got WWE, obviously, then you've got All Elite Wrestling and New Japan that are probably going to be competing at around the same level money-wise. And then below that, you have Ring of Honor, Impact, and MLW.
Yeah.
And all three of these companies are competing for the same talent, and they're competing for the same fans. And Impact's losing.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. So, we'll see how long it lasts.
What direction do you see Impact taking?
I see them being done and dusted by the end of the year, to be honest.
Me too. Well, maybe next year. See, because All Elite Wrestling is going to take a bit longer than people think to get off the ground. They're going to do a show in May. They're probably going to do a show in June, and then I think they'll start TV in October.
Yeah, and then
because their whole thing was they're going to start TV when SmackDown moves to Fox.
I'll say, I reckon they'll do one more Bound for Glory, and that's it.
Yeah, you don't think they're gonna survive?
Nah,
They won't survive the winter.
nah. If they get past 9 months, I'll be very shocked.
Because here's the thing: it looks like the direction they're headed creatively is they want to recapture ECW, right?
Yeah, well, with the hardcore stuff.
Yeah, we're going to be edgier. They're doing headshots now. They're going to have strip shows and stuff. And I think they fundamentally misunderstand what ECW was, which is terrible to say because, I mean, Don Callis was there for ECW.
Yeah.
He was part of ECW. And so to think that he could be there but still misunderstand it, like, I'm just a guy watching on the internet. I feel... But from what I can see, he fundamentally misunderstands it because he's going back. He's going back and he's not looking forward. But ECW looked forward. ECW looked at what wrestling was and said, we need to be this because that's what wrestling isn't.
Yeah.
Right?
That's
and ECW revolutionized the industry. MLW are doing that. MLW, they call their wrestlers fighters.
Yes, they do.
They have prize fights.
Yes, and they've got
Literally.
rankings.
Yeah, and they've got and they still do risky stuff. I mean, they had low key stab a man a couple weeks ago, right?
Conan.
And then he got fined like it was a sports organization, like Conor McGregor throwing the shit at the bus, and then he gets a massive fine. But a slap on the wrist keeps going, gets to fight more.
Yeah,
it
doesn't get a charge.
It feels
but anyway.
No, it feels real.
Yeah, MLW is good like that.
ECW was the wrestling that everyone was like, well, yeah, the WWE shit's fake, but that ECW thing, man,
That's real.
that's real.
Yeah.
That's dangerous. MLW has that vibe to it. Impact does not. And if they're going to go the other way with sparks shooting out of your hands, right? Lean into it. Pick a direction because you're killing yourself. You're killing yourself, and it upsets me because there's so much potential there.
Yeah. Well, that's it. We're just gonna. I don't know. I want to put my faith in them lasting, but I can't.
Yeah. People have referred to Impact as a cockroach, but Impact is not the cockroach of wrestling. Ring of Honor is the cockroach. Ring of Honor gets constantly raided and pillaged, and they keep building new talent and plugging away, and they have their hardcore audience, which is way more supportive than the Impact audience.
Yeah.
And so I feel like Ring of Honor will survive, but I don't know how Impact can survive this massive shakeup in 2019.
Yeah, like I said, 9 months, and I think they'll be done. And if they last any longer than that, I'll be very shocked.
Yeah, well, I hope that's not the case, but, it is what it is. I mean, you've started watching MLW, right? So we can just turn this into an MLW podcast.
Yeah, or AEW.
Well, yeah, true. That's right. There's going to be another new kid on the block that we can tune into. But do we want to run down? I mean, we've touched on a few things from Impact. How about you take us through step by step each thing that happened on Impact, and I'll tell you how many people were watching it on Twitch.
So we started off with Johnny Impact coming out and saying how important his heavyweight championship belt is. Good on you, Johnny.
Yeah.
Good on you.
And the crowd are just chanting, "We want Cage, we want Cage," and 6,500 people were watching. This.
Beautiful. 6,500 people hate you, Johnny. That's a vibe of bullshit you pulled. So Brian Cage just pretty much says he wants a rematch, and he's Impact isn't the rightful champion.
Right. So Cage popped a rating because 7,200 people are watching now, and Johnny Impact just being the fucking heel. I don't understand. Is this guy a babyface? Is he a babyface? I don't know, because he's like, look, now is not the time, Cage. My wife is in the hospital. All right, Miz.
Do you know what? Actually, now that you've actually said that, he is actually a heel now because he would have defended his title because he's a fighting champion as a face. Remember?
No, but his wife is in the hospital. He's so distraught.
He's a fighting champion, and he defends it no matter what.
Yeah. So either he is a lie, because there's 3 types of heels, right? There's the chicken shit, there's the liar, and there's the cheater.
Yeah.
Right? And lying is probably the most despicable of them all. And if he's going to be like, I'm a fighting champion, I'm the best champion, but then do things like this. But I feel like they actually think that this is what a good guy character does. A good guy character cares about his wife. And I mean, that is what a good guy does. Don't get me wrong. If my wife was in the hospital, I probably wouldn't be at the show at all.
Yeah.
But Yeah, but to have him there, cutting the promo about how he's the best champion, and then be like, I'm not defending. No, my wife is in the
That's
hospital.
a heel
Cage. What are
move.
you doing? Yeah. It's dodgy as hell.
That's a heel move. And then
And that makes Killer Cross the truth teller.
he comes out and tells everyone in the audience that Impact is an imposter.
Which is the truth at this point.
Exactly.
I'm so confused.
I loved it when Cross was like, well, as soon as Ty's out of the hospital, I'm just going to put her straight back in there.
Yeah, but the thing, they cheered for that. They didn't boo.
Yeah, I think we're getting a heel couple.
It's so
When
odd.
Ty returns.
It's so odd, especially if they end up putting. Maybe that's the thing. Maybe Don Callis is so warped with his whole "we go back to attitude" and rah rah rah. Maybe Killer Cross is actually the face, and if they do the pairing that I predicted with Scarlett Bordeaux, if she picks Killer Cross next week, I mean, Scarlett Bordeaux's getting a face reaction no matter what.
Oh yeah, she's never turning heel. And also the Gal Kim fast count with Tyre. Obviously, that's sort of a motive to turn heel.
Yeah,
as well.
it's so weird. It's so weird because they're presenting. So unless they're doing what everyone says WWE should try to do, where they like lean into Roman Reigns believing he's the good guy, but really everyone hates him. It's very meta if that's what they're doing, and it doesn't look like they've done it on purpose. So yeah. But then so then Cage. What about Cage and Cross facing off? And then Cross drops him, and Cage just pops straight back up and just flexes.
Yeah.
It's like, just flexes
So
his
great.
muscles, and Killer Cross is like, yeah, I'm out.
See ya. See you later, champ.
Yeah, Cage is the real champion. 7,900 people watching the flex. And then the first ad, this was really smart, by the way. If they did this on purpose, this was really smart. The first ad was Steiner Math. Right? So as Pursuit goes to an advertisement, the internet version, the Twitch version, goes to the Steiner Math promo. And they start the Steiner Math promo, and then, boom, ad for Mazda. At least for me, it was Mazda. I think, it's localized and what have you.
Yeah.
But the comments went crazy, like, what, we want Steiner Math. I saw, no joke, 5 people sign up to get the ad-free version while that was happening.
So they could watch Steiner Math.
So they could watch the Steiner Math. So, well done. Well played. Because, people wanted the Steiner Math. Steiner Math is over. I mean, you could just go to YouTube. I don't know why you would pay for an ad-free version. But, it worked. And we come back from the break with 9,300 people watching.
Steiner Math's doing its thing. So we get Lucha Brothers and the Rascals. See, this was weird.
Well,
Like, it was
before
a great-
that, you got a backstage
Oh,
segment,
yeah.
right?
Yeah. I'm just so over talking about Johnny Impact and his
Yeah.
world title.
They basically say the exact same things again about how you're an imposter. Cage comes in and he's like, what did he tell Cage? He's like, I'll give you a title shot after I deal with Killer Cross.
Yeah, just not
So-
tonight.
Yeah, so you're not even too distraught to wrestle,
Yeah, he can
but
wrestle.
you just won't defend your title because it's more important to avenge your wife. Just do your job.
Yeah, he's definitely turning heel.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah, but and so that drops us back off to 8,500 people. People are like, fuck this, I'm out again. So then we go to, Rascals and Lucha Brothers.
Yeah, now, this was a great match, but
Yeah.
it was weird because, like you were saying, like they didn't want to give the titles to the Lucha Brothers, but why aren't the Lucha Brothers putting over the Rascals?
I don't know. So maybe they are sticking around. I don't know. I have no idea. So, yeah.
I was actually, like, you know how much I love Penta and Phoenix.
Yeah,
I was actually hoping the Rascals would win.
right.
I was, like, cheering for them. I was like, come on!
Well, the Rascals are fantastic too.
Yeah. And I was like, come on, let's do this. They're gonna win. I was like, surely, after losing the title match, surely they're gonna put the Rascals over.
Yeah, but no.
No.
I do love the assisted wheelbarrow splash that they do.
Yeah. Everything
How
they do is awesome.
the Phoenix rolls through and boom, 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 and they do the it's just I can't even explain it. It's all I can say is it's an assisted wheelbarrow splash with like a sunset flip, and it's amazing, and it was really cool. Then we get the actual GWN flashback to Ultimate X.
I just skipped this.
On Twitch, this got us up to 10,000. This got us up to 10,000 viewers watching the Ultimate X flashback, and then when we came back, it dropped back down to about 9,400. So it's really confusing. Like, I don't know how much of it is people. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. But
we've got really bad internet.
maybe.
So then we got Cross asking another Johnny Impact segment.
Yep. Yeah, and just recapping it again, just saying he's a liar, and just rehashing it.
Yeah.
He did have a good line about, does Johnny Impact even know how to hurt me? Does he know if I can be hurt?
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool, psychologically, but
Doc.
Yeah, but also, okay, we're over this at this point.
Yeah.
We're a Grado and Joe Hendry.
Where are they? I miss
Yeah.
Joe Hendry. And his voice. What a voice.
Yeah, makes everything better on Impact Wrestling.
And then we've got Josh Matthews welcoming the new X Division champion, Rich Swann, which we talked about.
Yeah.
On the homecoming.
So he cuts a promo about what the X Division means and how it changed the industry. And at this point, the comments section... So Sami Callihan comes out, and at this point, the comments section is just ripping. Is this even a wrestling show? What's going... We've had one match. It's been an hour at this point. We've had one match. What is this crap? Like, people are shitting on it in the comments.
Yeah, well, it's true. We've had freaking 6 promos by the time we've had one match.
Yeah, all about the same thing almost, too. So,
yeah.
Now, how do you feel about this Rich Swann, Sami Callihan, Willie Mack story? So, we finally get a reason for Willie Mack and Sami Callihan to fight, kind of.
I think Mack turns on Rich Swann.
Yeah?
Yeah. I've got a sneaking suspicion. Like, it just adds up.
I think of the two, you want Rich Swann to turn. But
of course you do, but I think Willie Mack will turn out of jealousy of the title.
Right.
That's what I feel.
Right, but Sami Callihan invites Rich Swann to join OVE, and I guess they're alluding to some kind of backstory there, but I have no idea what the backstory is.
Is Rich Swann from IHO? Is Rich Swann from there?
I don't know, actually, to be honest with you. I probably should have looked that up ahead of doing this. Let's see. Rich Swann.
If he is, that sort of gives you... He's from Orlando.
No, he lives in Orlando. He was born in Baltimore, Maryland.
So I don't think... Yeah.
But Sami was like, come home. Like, as if they have some history that we don't know about. But as far as I know, they've never run together in any major way. So... Yeah, weird. If you're just inventing a backstory, you should probably let us know what it is. And then Willie Mack, I guess, doesn't want his friend to go back home. And so Willie Mack is going to fight Sami Callihan. The match was already announced before Impact, though, so giving it a reason now feels tacky.
Yeah, as...
and Willie Mack gets a shock victory with a roll-through pin combination. And
sits on his shoulders.
Yeah... Can we not give Willie Mack shock victories? Like, I don't... He's the Mac. He's...
Well, did you like my name? Return of the Mac?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if this signifies the start of a push, good, but I think they're going to waste Willie Mack. I think they're going to waste him.
Like I said, give him a heel turn. Turn him into a member of OVE, and... Yeah.
I guess we'll let it play out. We'll see what happens. Then we get LAX and Conan having some Irish coffee.
This was silly.
Yep. They bump into OVE. At this point, 9,600 people are watching. And people are just saying, just fight. Can they fight? Can someone fight, please? Which I had fun with.
And they didn't.
Yeah. And then...
The moment of the night.
Yeah. I get that this was done for the TV audience who are on a hunting channel.
I actually wouldn't say it was a moment of the night after who we got returning, but anyway.
Yeah, well, so Scarlett Bordeaux comes out for her strip show, but the Desi Hit Squad tell her she doesn't need to do that. She should respect herself as a woman. And, so they're going for that red-blooded American male, right? Like, they're on a hunting channel.
Yeah.
And that's what they're trying to appeal to. Like, nah, fuck respect, we want some titties!
Yeah.
That's what they're going for, I guess. And, Scarlett's happy to do it. She loves the whole sex sells angle and stuff, so, good on him. Good on it. That's great. I love Scarlett. I love everything Scarlett does, so I'm not against it at all. But it just seems a little weird. And then, yeah, I can't say it.
Big Papa Pump.
The big bad booty daddy.
Oh God!
Which again, we cracked 10,000 to 11,000 at this point.
How old is he looking, by the way?
He just looks like that old guy that hangs out at the biker bar, and he's killed people.
Yeah, like he just looks really old. Like, well, he's old, but
I don't know. I feel like he still looks good, I guess, but like he just destroyed the Desi Hit Squad, which you're talking about these, mid-20s athletes, and there's two of them plus the old guy who has just as much experience as Scott Steiner. So, the fact that he just destroyed them, I get what they're doing because it's for that red-blooded male watching the hunting channel, and
he's nearly bloody 60.
Yeah, but he took him down and then talked about how much he loves hunting and he loves fishing.
God.
It was a little on the nose.
Yeah, just see where that goes. Once again, maybe he's getting the pick for Scarlett.
Yeah, well then Scarlett's wearing some lingerie. I know I've heard that this was a one-off, a one and done, just for the return for the switch to the new network.
Surely they could have made something better out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I feel like they're going the wrong direction in everything they do. Gail Kim says she called it down the middle. No, you didn't. Says she made the right call. No, you didn't.
Oh God. God.
Tessa defeats a jobber, which brings us back down to 9,000 people.
She also used the 8 defeat.
Yeah.
That was pretty cool.
It was. Tessa's gold. Tessa's gold. Can't argue with anything that Tessa does. And then Eddie Edwards is getting an interview, but Eli Drake shows up. Let me talk to you.
This is going to be a cool feud.
Yes, finally, something that I can actually look forward to.
This is going to be good. Eli Drake and Eddie Edwards are going to put on a killer matches. Hopefully, they're not just hardcore matches, but like it's a fight for the hardcore crown.
Yeah, well, he said, are you sure you want to go that hardcore route? Because Eli Drake is completely anti-hardcore now. So maybe they could go a route where Eli Drake insists on having regular wrestling matches, but Eddie Edwards is really good at that too. And then maybe Eli Drake has to resort to a hardcore match to get his victory or something like that. I think that would be really cool to kind of, put a crack in the facade of Eli Drake.
Yeah. But yeah, that'll be a really cool feud because they're both good on the mic, they're both good in the ring. So. Yeah,
we still don't have any answers about who left the balloons for Eli Drake though.
That would have been Abyss, surely.
I don't know. Then we move on, and Killer Cross and Johnny Impact, and at this point, everyone's tuning out. We're back down to 8,000 people hovering around that mark. No one cares. No one cares. At least 3,000 people don't care.
No one cares about Johnny Impact anymore.
Yeah, and like I said, I was like, what continuity, man? What's going on with continuity? And I listed some things that haven't been answered or haven't been addressed, like the balloons, like the and one of the things on my list that I had here was Killer Cross and Moose. They were friends for a while. What the hell happened? But they brought it back. Moose showed up and throws Impact through a table.
Yeah, I like this match, but it was a good match.
It was okay, but I was well and truly over watching this show at this point. So
yeah,
yeah.
You get eventually. You've been watching too much New Japan. Too much Wrestle Kingdom. You've probably been watching repeats of Wrestle Kingdom. Then you watched Impact. You're like, yeah.
No, I actually, while I've been editing, so like I watched like the New Japan stuff, and then while I've been editing the podcast, I've been watching a lot of I've been catching up on Progress because I've fallen behind on Progress, and I've been watching a lot of WXW and Rev Pro. So a lot of British wrestling, and yeah, just Impact's just not up to the standard of like MLW is better. Ring of Honor has its issues. Ring of Honor definitely has its issues, but in terms of just consistently putting on the in-ring stuff, everyone has good wrestling at this point. Everyone has good wrestling. It's what you do with the good wrestling that matters, and Impact, they were doing well for a while, and they've gone from Slammiversary to Bound for Glory to Homecoming. It's gone down, it's gone down, it's gone down.
Yep.
And
pretty much.
I'm worried.
Pretty damn much.
I'm
Pretty
very
damn
worried
much.
for the future. Yeah.
We'll see how we go. But anyway, Johnny Impact loses. I was about to say Johnny Impact picks up the win.
No,
But
he lost. He actually lost. Yeah.
He got stroked out. So
Yeah, it's yeah, that's Impact, I guess. And yeah, like we said, 2019 looks pretty bleak, but we hope for the best. Hope for the best.
yeah. We'll have a monthly countdown of 9 months for my prediction.
All right. So you predict that by September they're going under.
Yep. They'll be done and dusted. Jeff
Do you
Jarrett will
think-
sue them for the rest of the money they've got, and they'll be finished.
Well, they tried to sell the company to All Elite Wrestling, right? That's another news item that's come out recently that we should talk about. They tried to sell the company to All Elite Wrestling, and All Elite Wrestling said no.
Yeah, because it's got a bad name. You better
Yeah,
off
we don't
starting
want
a
it.
new company.
Do you think that it's a negotiation tactic? That they're like, no, we're not going to buy you, but we will sign wrestlers and make
And
it harder for
destroy
you
you.
to operate, and then when you're on your really final legs, we'll buy you then?
Well, AEW's goal is probably going to be to try and be the second best promotion in the world
Yeah.
at the present. We'll try.
Well, I mean, look, they're looking more global too. Like they're looking at Australia. They've said they're looking at Japan. They've got partnerships with OWE in China. It's exciting because like we talked about Impact having that global flavor for a while, right? They do the Mexico tapings and stuff, and they had Brian Cage doing his world tour. They aired a Mick Moretti match on Impact because of Brian Cage, but it's just sort of stalled out, and they've stopped doing that stuff.
yeah, because they've got no money.
Well, they're going back to Mexico soon. So, the Mexico tapings were really good. So I'm looking forward to the next lot of Mexico tapings.
Yeah. I'll be interested for where it happens. Like I said, need to give Impact a couple of weeks leeway.
Yeah, well, that's a positive note to end on. We're excited about them going back to Mexico.
Yeah.
And with that, I like to be positive, so let's leave it on a positive note. Where can people find you, Jay?
Just on Twitter, at the regular J.
I am at Greg Unchained on Twitter, at the Greg Unchained on Instagram. We collectively are the B Plus Wrestle on Twitter because wrestling wouldn't fit the B Plus Wrestling everywhere else except for Patreon, where we are just patreon.com/the B Plus. What do you reckon, Jay? Could it be that maybe there's going to be more than just wrestling?
Possibly.
Oh, I don't know, maybe.
We'll have to wait and see.
And if you want to join us on this ride, Patreon's the best place to do it. You get ad-free episodes, you get bonus episodes. We have a custom episode coming up from one of our Patreon subscribers, Julian, who has requested that we talk about the best wrestlers we've seen live. It's going to be really fun. So if you want to give us custom episodes, if you want to be a super producer yourself of the B+, or even if you just want to listen to us ad-free as we cover all the wrestling from around the world, that's the place to do it. Patreon.com/the B+. Alternatively, of course, check out our sponsors, All Aussie Travelers, Threadbox, and there's more on the way, so definitely check them out. Guys, like, share, subscribe, 5-star review if you like what we do. And as always, thank you so much for listening.
Hold one. Arm drag.
You're not good at this. Get out. Let me tell you a personal story about Vince McMahon.
You just made the list.
Sorry, no speak English.
Dummy. Goodbye and good night. Hold two. Arm bar.
This is the worst town I've ever been in.
It's still real to me, damn it.
Dummy. Hold three. The moss covered. Three-handle family good uncle.